All right, let's get right into it. When a major political figure is attacked, those first few hours are absolute chaos. But it's also where the official story, the narrative, begins to form. We're going to break down how some of the biggest voices in media reacted in real time to a truly shocking event, and what their first words really tell us about where we are.
So here's the core fact that set everything in motion. On September 10, 2025, the well-known conservative activist and commentator Charlie Kirk was killed. And that one stunning event sent an immediate shockwave across the entire media and political world.
Okay, so to really get the reactions, you first have to understand what happened. Let's quickly walk through the key details as they were first reported.
And this all went down incredibly fast. Just look at the timeline. On September 10th, Charlie Kirk is at a speaking event at Utah Valley State University. During that speech, he's shot and killed. The news breaks late that night, and by the very next morning, the media is already in full response mode, trying to make sense of it all.
The very first late-night host to go on television and address the shooting was Stephen Colbert. And because he was live, his response was powerful, and it really set an early tone for the conversation.
You gotta imagine this. Colbert's team has the whole comedy show written and ready to go. Then, this news breaks. So he walked out on stage and addressed it right at the top, telling his audience that they basically had to scrap the plan. In a time slot that's all about laughs, he hit the brakes and got deadly serious.
And to put it all in context, he immediately connected it to the 1960s, which was, one of the most violent and chaotic periods in modern American politics. He wasn't just talking about one tragic event, he was placing it on a historical map of political turmoil.
And this right here, this boils his whole message down to its core. It is a direct, crystal clear rejection of violence as a political tool. It's a warning that once you go down this road, it only leads to darker places.
Now, Colbert was a huge voice, but he wasn't the only one. So let's check out how other prominent people reacted, because not everyone used the same platform or the same approach.
And this is super interesting, because it shows how the medium is the message sometimes. Colbert was live, so he could talk directly to his TV audience. Jimmy Kimmel's show, on the other hand, was probably already taped. So what did he do? He went straight to Instagram to get his message out immediately.
Kimmel's message had a totally different focus. He wasn't talking about history. He was looking at the immediate future and knew the angry finger-pointing was coming. So his message was more of a plea, a call to just pause for 1 second and agree on our shared humanity before the political battle lines were drawn.
But not every reaction was a call for unity. To give you the full picture, the source material also pointed to a response from former President Donald Trump. His video message was described in the article as a dark address that took a much more accusatory tone, where he, quote, lashes out at the left.
So we've got three very different responses here, right? One looking at history, one pleading for unity, and one assigning blame. So what, if anything, did they all have in common?
Well, even though the tones and approaches were wildly different, figures like Colbert and Kimmel started from a shared foundation, a clear, total rejection of political violence. They might have disagreed with Charlie Kirk on just about everything, but they were unified in saying that this is not the answer.
But that's not quite where the story ends, because Colbert's condemnation, in particular, didn't just end with a statement. It ended with a question, one that he just left hanging in the air for everyone to think about.
And that was the question. Is this the aberrant action of a madman, or a sign of things to come? I mean, that is a haunting question. Was this just a terrible, isolated act by one person, or was it a symptom of something much bigger and much scarier? That question absolutely captured the fear that was simmering just under the surface for a lot of people. It's a question that really sticks with you. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And for more explainers like this that break down the big events shaping our world, make sure you like this video and, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.